everyone, welcome to the 3-Hour News Show. So you are now watching our signature segment, See the Stories. Now we've been talking about how to be more environmentally friendly in all our ways of life. So recycling stuff is one of the little things that we can do to protect our environment. Instead of throwing things out, we can use the same thing twice or maybe more than twice for different purposes. Have you ever tried to recycle something? I want to ask you, Kai. I mean, if you're a jewelry, whatever kind of jewelry you wear, you're still a jewelry, right?
Yes, we're jewels.
If you're a jewel, so anything you wear, you're still standing out.
Yeah, actually, I have clothing mostly. I still own clothes that I wear that I bought maybe 5 to 8 years ago, and I still wear them even till this day.
Can you give me a high five
Yes.
on that? I even wear my mom's.
I even have my mom's bags and things because it's just still so good and so good quality that you can still use it for a very long time.
Exactly.
Yeah, some clothes and items are already as old as I am.
That's
Maybe.
right, that's right.
So recycling has taken on a new life in the past decade, from designated waste bins to boom in product and packaging made from recycled materials. But have you heard that you can also turn waste into jewelry? Let's take a look at the story.
So people turn discarded items such as bottle caps, fragments of glass, and even metal waste into a beautiful and precious jewelry. Scrap metal recycling targets a vital area, repurposing valuable metals while keeping them out of landfills. Any metal scraps that are not recycled are typically sent to a dump, where overcrowding and pollution have a real impact on our environment.
Luckily, we have Dian Suri from Kunang Jewelry, who is very much aware of this issue. Now, Kunang Jewelry are taking what's considered trash and waste and turning it into something valuable. So upcycling, turning it into jewelry. This creative way of dealing with waste shows that there's beauty in things we usually throw away, and it brings together being eco-friendly and artistic.
Ooh,
Art,
nice fair.
Sustainability, responsibility.
And still looking
Feel
great.
good.
Even though you're wearing something as considered as waste, for example, but you're still looking great and even more chic. So still about the environment. Now Dian is already here in the studio, so I'd like to say hi, thank you for being here.
Coming all the way from Bali.
Just this morning.
Just
Wow.
Just arrived this morning.
Well, you must have been a little bit of a culture shock with the difference between Bali and Jakarta as a little
weather and pollution.
Hopefully it will rain, it will get better.
Hopefully.
Yeah, this tells a lot. Like
I told her I love her glasses, and then she made me realize that those glasses are so necessary now living in Jakarta to protect your face and eyes from
maybe
all
in
the
the
dust.
future she'll turn the particles into some kind of jewelry. I don't know. But okay,
self-branding.
yeah.
But it looks great.
It looks great on you. So first, can you tell us the story behind Kunang Jewelry? How the idea first came, and to turn metal into jewelry, metal waste specifically.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of a long story, and it's kind of, for example, I'm a jewelry designer for about almost 15 years before making Kunang Jewelry. So during that time, I'm working in the corporations. I realized that the issues in jewelry design, the jewelry industry, is actually the supply chain, from the metal extracted from the earth, and then the products, the making, the handcraftment. So sometimes we don't see what's behind the produce of the jewelry itself. And then that's when we started to realize, okay, we need to do something about it. We need to let other people know the effect, the issues behind the jewelry you're wearing right now. But then again, we cannot have that issues out there if we're still doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So we try to experiment with a lot of different materials, actually. And since even before I made Kunang Jewelry, I'm actually quite active in the environmental group in Bali. So yeah, from them, I actually took a lot of advice from them. So yeah, so we made jewelry out of cables, out of pipes.
So where do you usually get these metal wastes?
We work with 3 dump sites around Denpasar. 3 dump site and waste bank. So for now, we still work only with 3 dump sites.
Oh, so how much supply do you usually get? Is it by the month or by the week or?
It depends. Well, actually, metal is also quite a resourceful and valuable commodity.
Yeah.
So they actually still going to sell it. But if they sell it to us, but they can only sell it if they already like collect a lot of metals. So with us,
It's
if
okay,
they
it's a small
if
batch.
it's only 100 grams, okay. And sometimes they just call us. We need some like fast money. Can you? Okay.
Oh wow, that's also
Wow.
helping people.
helping
That is
really
helping a lot of people.
Yeah.
because they usually go with tons, so only like 100 kilograms or tons, and they usually wait for quite some time to do that.
Okay. So you've been a designer even before Kunang Jewelry, right? What is the biggest challenge? Is it the designing of the waste of metal, or is it the supply? What is it? The biggest challenge that you face? during this?
Well, actually, the material itself.
The materials.
The material itself, and finding someone who can actually work with the material, because basically metal is basically the same.
Yeah.
But since it's not like precious metal, like silver, gold, so sometimes most artisans just don't want to work with that.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be quite difficult. And when we're working with waste, we don't know like the quality of the waste, so we need to mix it up together, and there are a lot of back and forth to it.
Okay.
So,
What about the process itself? I mean, the recycling process. Do you combine everything, or do you like
You melt it together
categorize?
again,
Yeah.
or yeah.
yeah. First of all, we categorize it because we only take the copper base.
Copper base.
copper
Base.
base, okay.
Brass is actually not a raw material. Brass itself came from copper. So, and we separated it. We can actually tell the difference of the quality by the colors, by what they used before.
Okay.
So they used before when they, for example, we do like pipes.
Yeah.
Pipes usually they go with brass. So, but
Right.
there's a different quality in brass. So yeah, we sorted things out. We sorted the material based on the colors, based on the types, and after that we actually cut it into small pieces. We also sometimes have these scraps from industrial waste that we have to like separate it one by one.
Oh,
Because you have to
scrap
clean it
scraps.
basically. Yeah.
Because if we don't do that, sometimes we have different kind of metals,
Yeah.
and it cannot be melted together.
Oh wow.
Oh, so you
That's
do
a lot of work.
melt it together, right?
Yeah.
So you melt it to actually
we
create
melt it up.
something. Ah.
Otherwise, you'll have very different, very unique piece for each, right?
Yep.
But so it's just, I've been thinking you have been turning something that is probably corroded, like ugly and all that, into a jewelry piece that is wearable and is nice. So how do you come about this? I mean, okay, you learned from the environmentalists, and thank you for taking the first step. But have you ever thought of this before?
Well, before I made Kunang Jewelry, actually, I didn't really think about it. But yeah, but for the corrosions and other, metal, they reacted, right? But corrosion actually only happens if they have iron in it. If they're free from iron,
They're fine.
So you do, as you mentioned before, have to reprocess the raw materials that you get, right? And then you have to clean them, and then you have to separate them, and then you can rebuild them. So how long does it usually take for you to create a new jewelry?
It depends. For example, if it's a new collection, it might go back and forth for some like a few months. But if it's a recurring collection, for example, we use the pieces and we make a mold out of it, and we make a mold, we make a design out of that mold over and over and over again.
I see.
So it takes time to make the molds, and then you have the, you have the raw materials, the recycled raw materials that you get, and it's basically like just making jewelry, right?
It is.
So the challenge basically is the cleaning up, the finding the recycled materials, but at the end, when you're already in the jewelry making process, it's already like any other jewelry making process.
It is. And actually, when at the Waste Bank, we collaborate with them and we try to, how do you say it? It's it's like we educate each other.
All right.
So even right now, when we're having the metals, it's already been separated. So it's less work for us. And we also told them how to like store the pieces, store the metals, because if metals get mixed together, it will
Rust
get
and all
rusted
these.
and all of it.
But
wow.
but when I understand when metal's already at a waste place, it's very easy to rust, right? Can you save metal that's rusty?
The rust and corrosion is actually like only iron.
Iron.
Ah, okay. So if
Uh,
there's no
use
iron,
copper.
it's pure. Nothing's gonna happen.
Usually for copper and brass, usually it's only oxidized, and it's actually
It's
quite
just
safe.
blackened, and that's fine.
Yeah,
You
and
can
it's turning
recolor it.
green, turning like greenish.
I like the greenish. It's sort of like vintage.
Like vintage.
Yeah,
Some people like it, but some people have allergic to it.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
that's
Take that as a
artistic, actually.
consideration.
Okay, so you only focus on metals. There's no other materials that you use for your jewelry.
Before, yes, but right now we're trying to find, because in jewelry we have the precious stones, right?
Yeah,
We're trying to find an alternative material
Yeah.
out of precious stones. So that's why we came up with the scrap glass.
Right.
scrap glass.
Okay, so how do you ensure the quality, the durability of the jewelry that is made of such unconventional materials?
That's actually one of the hardest part because to educate, for example, in our team, to educate them to have like a very exact quality control, it took them months. So
How do you control the quality? Because you have to keep these recycled materials in a specific way, right, to be able to have them durable. How is the technique? And is there any special way we buyers have to store it too to make sure that it lasts longer?
Well, actually it is.
Okay.
First of all, if we store it, any kind of metal, even precious metal, you need to store it, we need to keep it separate from other metals, just like the usual jewelry, separate with other metals, and then it needs to be in a dry place, like no humid place. If you already wear it, make sure you put it in a closed, tight container, those kind of stuff. So we do that even when we started, even when we just start to collect the materials.
So maybe the next question is, how do you balance the aesthetics and the sustainability in your designs?
Yes.
As a designer, this is like, oh, big
This is,
task.
but one of our main goal is actually to educate. So we don't really educate a lot of people if we make something that they don't use daily.
Yep.
So our design, it's not really mission, but how do you, when you look at our jewelry, you cannot tell that it's from waste. And you can use it every day. So it's a daily, very light jewelry that you can use it every day.
It's ready to wear jewelry.
Ready to wear. So the value is in your simple, small stuff every day.
Well, there you go. Upcycling from waste to beauty.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
From waste to beauty. I mean, we do have the samples here. You can see these look amazing. So, can you tell us what the metals are? And these are made of glass. They look like jade.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of jade and whatever green. Actually, I love green.
Yeah.
So, can you tell us about these? This particular collection.
Yeah, these are earrings, and both are earrings.
Both are earrings. Yeah, this is our new collection, actually. So we just decided to use scrap glass. So it's not only glass from bottles.
Oh, okay.
The scrap one, because when we work with people from dump site, people who collect, bottles, actually you can use it again and again and again. So unless it's already break.
Okay.
So the scraps, of course.
Yeah, go ahead. It's gonna look
So the
gorgeous.
scraps is actually a problem.
Okay, I can't believe that this comes from waste.
And it's a zero waste. So
And you know what I love?
waste.
So can you tell us what metal this is made of? This is obviously, is it plated with gold on top or?
Yes, to avoid having allergic reaction, we usually plated it with gold. So we have the white gold, we have the rose gold, we have the yellow gold.
And so brass and then gold plated.
Yeah, and
It's the beauty.
it is. And if we don't plate it, the color is going to be different. because
Right.
we have
Yeah, yeah,
different
yeah.
kind of
Yeah. Wow.
I mean,
this
look
looks
at this.
amazing.
This is like brand new that you come from
Ah,
a
that's pretty.
shop, a store, right?
So pretty.
Brand new, but it's coming from a waste, and you're saving a lot of waste, metal waste especially. I mean, for this, how can we ask you the price range?
Well, our price range is actually not that high. It's around 150,000 rupiah until 750.
And you supply to other countries as well?
Yes, but not in a huge amount. So we have some partners in several countries.
Wow, that's
I'm certainly really interested. You know, we are going to continue this discussion. See the story will continue after the break with Dian Suri still with us, and we're gonna have a little bit of a go in making jewelry later as well. So stay tuned with us on the Fair News Show on See Today.